Hi there everyone, it's me, Lamer Gamer, hope you're all doing well. Today's video is a Sea of Thieves walkthrough of the Tall Tale, The Art of the Trickster. If you're onto this Tall Tale, you've already completed the Tall Tale, Wild Rose. If you haven't, I've already done a walkthrough of that one, and you'll find the link up here. So this video will take you step by step on how to complete the main part of the Tall Tale, as well as discover all the locations for each of the journals. Don't forget, I am a member of the Sea of Thieves creator crew, so sail on over there and see what sort of stuff I've posted over there. And if you do want to see me live in action, I do stream regularly on Twitch. Now, without further ado, let's get sailing. The first thing you'll need to do is head to Plunder Valley and find Salty, the skeleton parrot. You'll find him on the eastern shores right next to the shipwreck. Once you and your crew have found him, you will need to vote for the Tall Tale to begin it. Once the Tall Tale has begun, you'll need to read through the new journal pages. In this case, it told me I needed to find a cave in Plunder Valley. To find the cave, I had to walk straight past Salty and towards the southwest side of the island, and you can find the cave with a brazier outside. You then have to navigate through the cave to find a room full of skeletons. I've recorded this section at normal speed, so hopefully it should help you find your way to the room a lot easier. Once you have found the room, you will need to read through the journal pages and match the positions of the skeletons to that of the descriptions in the journal. The thief hides behind a mask means you have to place the mask in front of the thief. The rum runner lays drink to rest means that the tankard of rum needs to be placed on the floor. Lovers hand in hand means that the lovers need to be holding hands. The pointing at the fire one I always leave to last because I can never 100% guarantee that I'm pointing at the correct spot. Luckily there is a sound effect that happens when you do get the puzzle right. At this point a cage will be lowered with a skeleton inside of it. It will be holding the Trapmaker's spyglass and more Trapmaker notes. Collect both of them. Once you've collected the journal notes, you'll need to read them to find out which island you need to sail to continue the Tall Tale. In this case, we had to head to Discovery Ridge. For this portion of the Tall Tale, you'll need to locate the Trapmaker's mark using the location shown in the journal, and then use the clues written below the map to find the items that they are talking about. Once you've lined up both items with the eyes of the skull in the spyglass, you then need to dig at the cross that is in the mouth of the spyglass skull. Now please remember there are multiple Trapmaker marks across the island, so you could be stood on the wrong Trapmaker mark. Once you have successfully located the first set of Trapmaker notes, read the next journal entry and repeat the process until you find the next set of Trapmaker notes. You will know you're on the final set of Trapmaker notes when this happens, and you see this icon, which is the Trapmaker's gunpowder key. Do the same process as before, however this time, once you discover the Trapmaker's gunpowder key, you will need to dig and run. That's right, the Trapmaker has rigged the island to explode upon discovering the Trapmaker's gunpowder key. The gunpowder key can explode, so I would suggest getting off the island as quickly as possible and sailing to Sailor's Bounty. Once at Sailor's Bounty, you'll need to take the Trapmaker's gunpowder key into the centre of the island and begin heading into the Trapmaker's cave system, which is all full of booby traps and lovely things to kill you. The first booby trap are these broken boards, do not step on them. Or if you're doing it with a crewmate and think they're expendable enough, use them for a good laugh. Whilst going through these cave systems, you just need to keep an eye out for these little markers so you know you're heading in the right direction. After finding the second Trapmaker's mark, you will head into another set of caves, where you will need to be careful as these spikes will kill you in one hit, so I would suggest studying the pattern and moving only when you're sure that they're not going to hit. A good thing is though that due to a recent update, you can now revive fallen comrades, so they don't have to go all the way back to the boat. Once you have made it through the cave of spikes, you are then into their Trapmaker's actual lair. Make a note of all the levers around this arena room, because once you've placed the Trapmaker's gunpowder key in the centre, you will be attacked by waves of skeletons. Once you've killed the captain of the lair, aka the boss, they will drop more Trapmaker's notes and a totem. Now the totem you get may be different to the one I get. I received the moon totem. You will then need to bring this totem safely back to the boat and read the additional journal notes you've just received from the Trapmaker's lair. This will identify the island you will need to take the totem to. In this case, I had to sail to Crescent Isle. The vault for the moon totem can be found directly underneath the centre of the island in a small cave. If you go there at night like I did, it's pretty much pitch black, so you'll need to use your lantern to find the plinth to place the totem on. You'll know you're in the right place when you see the moon painting on the wall. Unlike some of the other Tall Tales, this room does not involve a puzzle. In fact, all you need to do is light all 4 braziers and the Shroud Breaker stone will be revealed to you. Once you've picked up the Shroud Breaker stone, you will need to fight another 3 waves of skeletons before you can be released from the vault. Each of the boss type skeletons will drop a medallion. Each of these medallions need to be placed into the altar in the centre of the room to allow you to escape. Once the final vault medallion has been put in place, the door will open and you can escape the vault with the Shroud Breaker stone. Once you've made it to the boat, you'll need to sail to Plunder Valley and return the Shroud Breaker stone to Salty to complete the tale.
Squawk! So you found the Trapmaker, eh? I never meant for her to come to any harm, I swear it, but I had no choice. Briggsy would have had me for supper if I hadn't introduced them. And I've been racked with guilt ever since she went missing. If I had feathers, they'd be molting.
So now we've completed the main part of this tall tale. Don't forget that you may get different locations in your version of the tall tale, but the principle is pretty much the same. And now we're going to move on to the journals. Now don't forget, you need to start the tall tale to be able to find the journals and have them count towards the commendation. Otherwise you'll be sailing around islands again, looking for journals that don't exist and won't count towards your commendation. Once you've started the tall tale, this is what you need to do. On this journal hunt, you will be sailing to 3 different islands: Plunder Valley, Discovery Ridge, and there are 3 journals at Sailor's Bounty in the Trapmaker's Lair. The first journal at Plunder Valley can be found in the centre of the room full of skeletons, on a small stony altar next to a couple of mushrooms. The second journal can be found on one of the highest peaks at Discovery Ridge on top of a barrel. The final 3 journals can be found in the Trapmaker's lair? House? Where he lives. The first one you can find under the Trapmaker's bed. You can find the second of these 3 journals on the Trapmaker's writing desk, which gives you journal number 4. The third journal on this island, or the 5th and final journal in the collection, can be found to the side of the anvil in the centre of the Trapmaker's lair. If this is the 5th and final journal you've read through, then you will have received the commendation Traps and Treasure for doing so. So now we've completed the tall tale and we found all of the journals. Now if you do like this video, please feel free to click the subscribe button and don't forget to hit the little bell so you know that every time I go live or post a video. Also, you can find me on social media such as Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, and I stream regularly on Twitch. In the meantime, you take care and I'll see you online. Cheers.